Hey, friends, if you've ever thought, I'm not judging, I'm just being honest, this episode might feel uncomfortably accurate, but in a good way. We're going to talk about how archetypes hijack your nervous system in this episode and also how EFT can really help. So, if you listened to the first episode and thought, okay, I get this, but why do I still react in the same way? This episode is for you. Because archetypes don't just live in ideas, they live in our body. An archetype is basically a pattern that your nervous system learned was useful at some point. Useful for safety, useful to feel like you belong, useful for staying connected. And once the body learned that pattern, it kept running it, even when you've outgrown it. This is why insight does not change behavior. Today, I'm going to use two archetypal patterns as examples because almost everyone recognizes themselves in them at some point: judgment and codependence. So let's start with judgment. Judgment isn't just being critical. Archetypally, it's a sorting mechanism. It's the nervous system scanning the environment and asking, is this safe? Is this wrong? Is this right? It's scanning for perfection. Judgment is a great sensitivity to imperfection. At some point, your system learned that evaluating people and situations helped you stay oriented. Judgment gave you a sense of control. You can feel it in the body. It's tension in the jaw, it's tightness in your shoulders, it's a kind of constant alertness. Now, here's where codependence enters the picture. Codependence isn't just overgiving or people-pleasing. At its core, it's about regulating your nervous system through other people. Your body learned, I feel okay when you're okay. I stay safe by monitoring and managing or stabilizing you. So judgment watches and codependence manages. Different expressions, same root need, which is safety. When someone disappoints you or behaves unpredictably or doesn't meet an unspoken expectation, the body reacts first. Judgment flares up, then codependence kicks in. Do I need to explain myself? Do I need to fix it? Do I take responsibility so that this doesn't fall apart? That's the beginning of the loop or a loop. And none of this means that you're doing something wrong. This is a nervous system running on an old program that once worked really well. The higher expression of the judgment archetype isn't condemnation, it's perfection. The higher expression of codependence isn't self-sacrifice, it's connection without collapse. But here's the key part. You do not get there through willpower. You do not get there by talking about this stuff in the same way and in the same patterns over and over and over again. You get there when your body learns it's safe to stop running the emergency version of the pattern. And that's really where tapping comes in. So every 6 days, I'm going to be bringing up a different archetype like this and explaining where it lives in the astrological system, where it lives in the body, what the amino acids code for inside your body, again, how it shows up genetically, epigenetically, personally. And then we're going to tap to integrate. So tapping isn't magic, it's physiological. And here's why it works. When we tap, we're working with a real communication network in the body called the primo-vascular system, or PVS, or you've probably heard it referred to as the meridian system in Chinese medicine. The PVS is considered the body's primary information system. It actually predates the nervous system, and it runs throughout the body carrying bioinformation, signals about stress, safety, regulation, and repair. This is what the meridians are. The meridians, are pathways within the system. So they're well-established routes where information moves efficiently. They've been mapped for thousands of years, long before we had modern language for nerves or neurotransmitters. So the tapping points that we use sit on these meridians. So when you tap on your face, your chest, or your hands, you're not doing something symbolic. You're stimulating access points along the body's information highways. That stimulation sends updated information through that system back to the brain, back to the endocrine system. So it's really the limbic system, not through logic, through signal. And that's why tapping works even if you don't believe in it. It's not about convincing your mind. You're informing your body. And as that signal moves through the system, very real things start to happen. Heart rate slows, stress hormones decrease, breathing deepens, muscles start to soften. People often sigh or yawn or feel warm or have sudden realizations about the issue that they're exploring, like, oh, I actually don't need to carry this anymore. That's not only emotional processing, that's the system updating, so that when that issue comes up again, it doesn't just immediately activate your limbic system into fight or flight. It's like telling you, like, oh, we used to think a tiger was in the room when this came up, but actually there's not a tiger in the room. So when we tap on judgment, we're not saying stop judging. We're telling the body, you don't need to stay on guard. When we tap on codependence, we're not saying don't care about other people. We're saying you can care without carrying it. Same archetypes, same intelligence. It's just no longer running on emergency mode. So as you move through the next cycles, notice where judgment shows up as tension. Notice where codependence shows up as urgency or responsibility. That noticing is not failure. It is a doorway to choice. And if you want to help your nervous system actually release the loop, not just mentally understand it, that's what the integration session is for. So you're not broken, you are patterned, and patterns can change.